Hello, this is the 31st session in Physics 9. I am Sir CJ. And yeah, we have the following parts for this session. So, after being taught on how to, solve problems related to potential energy, to kinetic energy, and mechanical energy, it is now time for you to continue doing that. Through the following session. Okay, so as you can see, in this session, yung dalawang una nating gagawin are actually independent problem-solving activities, right? Let us test your knowledge and understanding of the concepts as well as the processes na mayroon when it comes to potential, to kinetic, and mechanical energy. Okay, so the first part will be problem solving for problem number one, and the second part is another problem solving activity for problem number two. And then we'll be moving forward to a new part of the book, which is under associate. We will be discussing energy scavenging. Okay? So, remember that in this book, book number 21, we are still targeting to be masters of the following learning competency, which is explaining energy transformation in various activities or events such as waterfalls, in archery, and in amusement rides. Okay, so this entire video lesson is based on the 7E based self-learning module in Science 9 which I wrote. These are particularly found on Unit 4, book number 21, pages number 22 to 25. Okay, let's begin. So, in the first problem, a 50 kilogram metallic safe box that is no longer working is put at the rooftop of a building which is 10 meters high. Now, how much energy does it have? Okay, so I'll give you now the time for you to compute for the following missing factors. Are you done? All right, now let's see. The correct answer is the metallic safe box has a gravitational potential energy of 4,900 kilogram meters per second squared meters. Ayan. So I hope that you got this correctly. All right. Let us now proceed with the second problem in this session. All right. The second problem is as follows. So tennis is Chino's new sports interest. One day, he started practicing by getting acquainted with the mass of the ball, which is around 0.08 kilograms. Now, he once threw it with a velocity of 6 meters per second. Now, how much initial energy does the tennis ball have? You may take your time and solve for this problem. Are you done? Okay, the correct answer to this problem is the tennis ball had an initial kinetic energy of 2.88 kilogram meters per second squared meters. All right. Now, in the solutions to these problems, I hope na you took note of the usual things that we're taking note of, no? So organize it properly. Please separate your givens from the solution and make sure that they are correctly and properly labeled. And then yung mga givens, dapat may mga units sila, and you also should identify the missing factors or missing factor. Okay? Now in the solution, it always helps so much if you start with the base form of the formula and then sort of derive the formula that is kumbaga usable for the problem you're solving. Okay? All right. Now we're done with the second part of this session. Let's now proceed with the last part. Let us discuss energy scavenging. Okay. So you can see this illustration right now, I hope, and I hope that you can also read it. If you cannot read it, I hope that you can, I think, edit the settings of the video. Yeah, pwede mo namang medyo i-ano yan, itaasan, no? Yung quality by adjusting the resolution. Now, if you can read it already, I want you to observe it, to analyze it. Go ahead. Okay. Now, what you see in figure 141 is a model of a piezoelectric device. It's one of the many ways that we harvest and scavenge. Actually, hindi yan may S. We scavenge for energy. Marami tayong way of scavenging for energy. Now, what do you mean by energy scavenging? Now, energy scavenging and energy harvesting, uh, these terms refer to the various ways we generate electrical energy. So, marami tayong ways aside from the usual na mga parang power generation na ginagawa natin through coal, through hydroelectric power plants, through geothermal power plants, which we, I think, discussed many times in this year. Marami tayong mga ways to scavenge and harvest energy. Now, some of the methods we use immediately consume the electrical energy generated. Kumbaga, there is no need for the electrical energy to be stored anymore. And then, well, some naman, ayun nga, they allow the storage of the electrical energy for future use. Pero syempre, may mga diminishing na mga electrical energy, due to the storage. The piezoelectric element applies to the piezoelectric effect of crystals. These crystals produce voltage when force is applied in one of its faces. So, may mga crystals na meron silang mga piezoelectric effect. Now, what is that piezoelectric effect? It means that when you apply pressure on them, or when they receive some kind of a force, they are going to release some kind of voltage, some kind of power. Now, in some applications, certain roads, mga daan ha, they have piezoelectric crystals embedded in them, and these crystals can actually generate for up to 400 kilowatts of power for every kilometer a car causing the vibration has traveled. You see, sa mga roads, syempre kapag dumadaan ang mga sasakyan, yung kanilang mass na-apply downwards sa road. So, kumbaga, parang because of gravity, no, nag-a-apply ng force ang mga cars na dumadaan doon sa mismong, daan. Now, what they did, what some siguro nations or what some states or cities did was that in their science and technology applications of piezoelectric effect to traffic, they embedded some crystals sa mismong daan. Para nga naman kapag na-applyan sila ng force, they're gonna, release some kind of electrical energy. And in this case, masyadong actually, it can produce a very high amount of power for every kilometer. Now, a similar experiment on the piezoelectric effect has been done by Professor Leizuo, who is appearing here in this photo, and his associates in Stony Brook University in New York. They installed piezoelectric devices in train tracks naman that generate electricity through vibrations made by the passing trains. This energy is enough to power monitoring systems of the train, yung mga lights nila, as well as mga switches. Now, aside from these piezoelectric devices, there are also other forms of energy scavenging. Meron pa tayong mga ibang ways para makuha ng mga ng electrical energy, makapag-harvest ng electrical energy. It could be harnessed from light through photovoltaic cells. In some cases, furnaces are used to generate electricity as well through thermoelectric cells. So as you can see, aside from the piezoelectric devices, mayroong mga photovoltaic cells as well as mga thermoelectric cells. Now, new research on harvesting energy from biochemical and chemical resources allow the synthesis of electricity through humanly activities and factors such as breathing. So, just by simply breathing, you can generate electricity. Body temperature, siguro medyo may kinalaman to dun sa thermoelectric cells, swinging of arms, and even heartbeat. So these are relatively new pieces of research which people are actually working on to generate more power for the usage of the general public. This is the this is the 31st session of Physics 9. And I am actually very glad to share with you energy scavenging, because I think in our country what we need more is actually mga scientists who are going to work on these kinds of applications of science, so that our problem in in the generation of power to power up most of our parang mga remote cities, to power up our industry, could be solved, no? Our reliance kasi on coal, our reliance on non-renewable sources of power is still very kumbaga very high, or it's actually still so bad, right? And I think that we as a nation and you as students should start parang thinking about some other creative ways, some smart ways on how you can help out in the future of our country. Now, this session has the following parts. You had two problem independent problem solving activities for problem number 1 and problem number 2. All right. Now, the last part was a discussion on energy scavenging, and I hope that through these activities you are closer towards explaining energy transformation in various activities and events, such as yung nga mga discussed natin before, waterfalls, in archery, as well as mga roller coaster rides that are very amusing. Now, remember that this session is based on the 7E based self-learning module in Science 9, which I wrote for my master's degree, and you will particularly see these parts that we discussed or we had in this session in Unit 4, book number 21, pages 22 to 25. This is Sir CJ, and I hope that you are having a great day so far.